Yeah.
And stand firm on your beliefs.
Yeah.
Stand firm on your beliefs. And a man that's for you is not going to go against those beliefs.
That's right.
It's not going to go against. I'm talking about the thing that you prayed and God gave you.
Yes.
God gave you these downloads. He's gave you these standards. He's gave you the anointing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
God has given it to you.
Yeah.
And you will be a fool to let someone from the outside
Yes.
come in, and
Yes.
because you tell them all the things that you like in a man, they're presenting. They got the
try to do
representative
that.
now.
Yeah.
They got the representative here.
Yeah,
They're gonna,
they
it's
do.
gonna be cool.
Yes,
but
they do that thing.
Yes,
Good.
the representative. They got the, I like X, Y, Z. Now
Yes.
they're following X, Y, Z. And next thing you know, you have found yourself in a sexual situation, and now we're on the soul test.
And I want to say this. I know you're gonna need to move on.
No,
but
no, it's fine.
When you say vetting process, I don't want us to misunderstand that as some mental or emotional checklist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what? Discernment and the Holy Spirit.
It's all you need.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. All you need.
And you have to lean into the Holy Spirit, because a lot of these thresholds that you cross and then have to make the decision, you will never enter it.
Yes.
You'll never get there
Yes.
because of that discernment that you have.
That's fair,
And
for sure.
usually, this is the way it used to be. I don't know how it is now, but usually, the two greatest questions in relationship is God and intimacy. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Finances are usually good, even if the brother ain't got no job and he's 45 years old trying to become a Christian rapper. It don't matter. But usually, when talking about
That's what we are. That's the time we are.
that's it. Usually, y'all can deal with that. Okay, brother. I got you. But the topic of God and sex, those are the topics, and that's where you need spiritual discernment. Because I'm sorry, in 2024, if that man loves you and if he wants you to be his wife, he'll wait.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
telling you. Period.
That's so true.
Oh, I just think, I just want to add, I think it's important for us as girls, the ladies, because I was single, never married. I did not get married until I was 41 years old. And what I learned during that time, is that you really, it has so much to do with asking God to help you to understand who you are to Him. That relationship. And I know people kind of, say that, know thyself and all of that, but it's not that simple. That's why we go through so much, and we entertain stop signs and carnival flags and all those things that we were calling it. But if there's just a small fraction of a nugget in there where you just really, really, really have enough faith left to say, God, I'll wait, and even if you experience some of the red flags and the stop signs, and they really kind of beat you down a little bit and put you in a place, but you just have enough in you, if you could just find it to have enough in you to have just enough faith. I mean, it said mustard seed size, so I'm not trying to tell you that you have to have some perfect self-care mental regimen for yourself, just enough not to let go of God's hand. Just even if you just got Him holding your pinky, if you just wait, because everything I saw up until June 18th of 2011, when I walked down the aisle to someone I knew, from even like being in high school and all that, but didn't know him as, once he became a young man and had moved off and been in Japan and in the Marines and in California and being a Muslim. He was on all kinds of stuff, and I was nowhere in that picture. But on that day, I can remember when they opened those church doors. I'm not a young girl, at this point. I'm young enough, but I'm 41, and I was like, God, we said yes, and it was a we. God, we said yes. I listened, and we said yes, and I'm going, and I remember feeling like it was because I'm like, oh, I belong to someone, and I could give myself, because we said yes, God, we said yes. And to some, was that having waited a long time? Sure, and had I experienced a lot of hurt and disappointment, but one thing that stood out that was so different about this person who was standing down there singing to me as I walked down the aisle. One thing that stood out about him,
I did that.
you know, is that I could hear and I could feel, you know, when he understood, he chose me, but he understood that that's who God had left, you know, somewhere waiting for him.
Yeah.
And I felt chosen by him, because if you got a young man in your life and if you don't feel like he's chosen you, see, and he chooses me till this day, next month, 13 years, I still see those moments in time when I know, I fall back and I'm like, you know what? He chose me because that means he had a made up mind, because he understood that God had left me there for those 41 years, you know, into experiencing, because that was for him, so he could choose me that way. Was it perfect? And did he get some stuff wrong in that very beginning? What? Oh my goodness.
We don't have to discuss
But,
all
you know, we got some things, we had to work it out. But you know what? There was never a question about, I choose you. And guess what? It didn't.